The drama surrounding Caitlin Clark's rise has taken her far beyond basketball courts, packed arenas, and the roar of WNBA crowds. But nothing prepared the sports world for what happened when she stepped onto a golf course in Florida and broke a record so stunning. Even legends like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan would nod in approval. It wasn't supposed to be a story about dominance. It wasn't supposed to be a moment of cultural shift. It was just a pro-am. A fun event, a casual off-season appearance. But when Caitlin Clark arrived at the Annika ProAm, the ordinary transformed into something unforgettable. It was a takeover, an absolute shockwave, felt across two sports at once. And no one, not even the LPGA executives who prepared tirelessly for her arrival, expected the magnitude of what she was about to unleash. From the moment she stepped onto Pelican Golf Club, the atmosphere changed. Fans flooded the grounds hours early. Tee boxes filled with clusters of people waiting for the slightest glimpse of her. Commentators whispered about it. Security scrambled to adapt, and the energy thickened like championship night in the WNBA. Clark wasn't just participating. She was igniting something that professional golf hadn't seen since Prime Tiger. And the shocking part, she didn't just play, she shattered a record that proved her crossover star power wasn't hype or speculation. It was real, measurable, and history-making. Yet the story doesn't begin on the course. It begins in a place only the rarest athletes ever enter, a place where business, legacy, and greatness merge behind closed doors. Before she ever gripped a driver in competition, Caitlin Clark found herself in the presence of a man who doesn't just symbolize greatness but defines it. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Grove 23, MJ Private Golf Sanctuary in Hobie Sound, Florida, is a fortress of exclusivity. They don't host tours. They don't allow the curious. They don't simply invite people because they're talented or famous. Entry into Grove 23 means something else, something almost ceremonial. It's a signal. A recognition, a passing of knowledge from one generational icon to another. And there, in that small selective circle, Caitlin Clark stood shoulder to shoulder with the greatest basketball player to ever live. Jordan didn't bring her there to teach her how to square her club face or fix her backswing. He brought her to talk about something far more valuable, how to build an empire. How to carry greatness with grace, how to withstand pressure that can crush careers if handled poorly. Nike executives watched closely as the two talked about branding, marketing, long-term strategy, and the future of women's sports. Conversations drifted from player edition shoes to cross-sport promotions, collaborations, signature products, and ways Clark could take her identity beyond basketball. She wore Nike head to toe, including early versions of CC-branded golf shoes she teased to the cameras. Her presence was intentional, her mindset was sharp. Jordan saw immediately what she represented: authenticity, competitiveness, humility, and marketability, all wrapped in a single athlete. The type that doesn't come along often. Goats recognize goats, and Jordan's invitation said everything the world needed to know. Clark wasn't just a basketball star. She was becoming something larger, a transcendent figure capable of shifting entire markets. And as she walked out of Grove 23 with a deeper understanding of what her future could be, another stage was already waiting for her, one she would illuminate in ways no one anticipated. By the time Clark and her Fever teammates Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull arrived at the Annika ProAm, excitement was already reaching a boiling point. But the LPGA had never seen athletes arrive with this kind of energy. Here were 3 WNBA teammates turning a golf event into must-watch television. Sophie, in her trademark comedic style, embraced the role of caddy like she'd been born for entertainment. She joked with fans, hyped the crowd, and broke every traditional expectation of how a caddy should behave. Lexi brought something entirely different: actual golf knowledge, strategy, and calm guidance. Together, the trio created a dynamic so refreshing that it captivated both basketball fans and golf enthusiasts who had never watched a WNBA game in their lives. Their chemistry was effortless. Their laughter was genuine. Their teasing jokes, sarcasm, and unfiltered friendship turned every hole into a new story. It felt unscripted because it was. It felt natural because their bond is real. But then came an unforgettable moment that could have ended in chaos. Sophie, taking a playful swing, launched a drive and accidentally hit a fan. The air fell silent. The cameras zoomed in. Commentators stopped mid-sentence. Golf is a sport of decorum and silence, a sport where even a rogue sneeze can cause disruption. A caddy hitting a spectator? That simply doesn't happen. But in seconds, the awkward tension dissolved into laughter. Sophie ran over to the rope line, apologising, hugging, joking with the crowd, and turning disaster into comedy gold. The fan, now part of the moment, laughed it off as Sophie delivered the perfect punchline. "Says your wife." The crowd erupted. Caitlin shook her head, saying a man down, as everyone burst into laughter. It was perfect, unpredictable, human, funny, and completely authentic. And while moments like this made the day entertaining, something far bigger was happening in real time. Something even the LPGA couldn't fully prepare for. As Clark moved from hole to hole, as crowds followed her in swarming waves, the numbers behind the scenes exploded. This wasn't just increased traffic. These were record-level surges. Clark didn't just bump interest, she rewrote the league's metrics in a single day. Last year, the tournament had 395 television segments across all media outlets. This year, nearly 3,000 posts about Clark on X in a single day. Those posts alone generated 241,000 engagements and over 18 million impressions. The tournament's Instagram saw a 591% increase in views. Website traffic soared by 121%. Attendance skyrocketed an unfathomable 1,200% compared to previous ProAms. Merchandise vanished from shelves before lunchtime, with anything featuring her name or likeness selling out immediately. This wasn't a bump. This wasn't luck. This was a phenomenon. Something the LPGA recognized instantly, and something the WNBA has ignored for 2 years. While the WNBA allowed Clark to be targeted, shoved, elbowed, mocked, and battered physically and mentally, the LPGA rolled out the royal carpet. They embraced her, promoted her, protected her, celebrated her. They moved cameras, shifted broadcast schedules, increased staff, and built the entire event around giving Clark the platform she deserved. Commentators openly criticised the WNBA failure to protect or market her. They didn't whisper it. They said it clearly, directly, and repeatedly. Clark wasn't just the needle. She was the entire gauge, and anyone pretending otherwise wasn't being honest. But even with massive crowds and historic viewership, the moment that stole the day came on the 10th hole, a 35-foot putt. A long, curling, pressure-filled challenge that even professional golfers often miss. Clark crouched down, studying the slope, tracing the break with her eyes as Lexi offered quiet guidance. The gallery stretched 5 rows deep, fans perched in trees, cameras raised like it was the 18th at Augusta. Everything slowed, everything quieted. Then she hit the ball, soft, measured, perfect. The pace was immaculate, rolling end over end with a line that seemed almost unreal. Gasps rippled through the crowd as the ball drifted toward the cup. Then, as if drawn by inevitability, it dropped. The eruption was instant. Thunder, a sound that didn't match the setting, but matched the moment. Clark raised her arms. Sophie and Lexi charged her. Fans jumped and celebrated like she'd just hit a buzzer beater in the Final Four. The Golf Channel replayed it endlessly. Social media exploded. The clip went viral, crossing borders into communities far beyond sport.